How's it going, guys and girls? Today we're going to be talking about Manchester United and how bad can it get for Manchester United? How bad can it get from Bruno Amorim? Bruno? Who the hell is Bruno Amorim? Ruben Amorim. Not Bruno Amorim, Ruben Amorim. He's real. How bad can it get for Ruben Amorim's army? Now, look, they've got Fulham this weekend, Manchester United, and I thought I'd spare a little bit of a second for Man United in terms of making a video, producing a video about Manchester United, because I have huge admiration for Manchester United, but how bad can it really get for Manchester United? Now, obviously, we saw them lose against Brighton by 3-1. And look, against Brighton, I didn't actually watch the game itself, but the scoreline didn't surprise me. I don't think it surprised too many. But I watched the game prior to that against Southampton, and I'm not going to lie, Southampton probably should have been 3-0 up at half-time. Manchester United are a mess right now, and what's that down to? People can point to the hierarchy at Manchester United. They can point to, the big men in charge, not literally big men. I don't know how big they really are, but people can point to them. They can point to a number of things. Are the players good enough? For me, most certainly not. There's only probably a couple of players I would actually say could probably get into other teams in the top 6. Not that I would class Man United as a top 6 team currently, but overall, obviously, they are Manchester United. Fans might not want to admit it. Man City fans, Arsenal fans over the years, Liverpool fans in particular, but Manchester United are the biggest club in this country, and that's without a doubt. And where do the problems lie at Manchester United? Is it the players? Now, the players for me most certainly are not good enough. The starting 11 is not good enough. The players that are being picked are not doing a good enough job. You've got Eriksen and Casemiro. They should literally be in the scrap heap. They are woeful players now. Christian Eriksen at Spurs was fantastic. Casemiro's had an illustrious career, not doubting that. Brilliant player overall. He's had he left a great legacy. You look at players at the back. They brought back Johnny Evans. I think Johnny Evans was there the last time Manchester United won the league. You might as well have Harry Houdini at centre back. But before I talk about Manchester United in terms of the players, the personnel, whose fault it is, could the players be given more? Is it bigger than that? Man United are a massive conundrum. I don't know where this stems from Manchester United. People can talk about the hierarchy. This is the thing. We'll start with the hierarchy. People talk about the owners at Manchester United. There's a lot of turbulence going on, at the height of the football club. First and foremost, they are not in charge of what happens on the pitch. You do your job on the pitch. Some of the performances on the pitch have been absolutely unacceptable at Manchester United. Now, when I was growing up, Manchester United, Alex Ferguson in my early teens, Alex Ferguson was the benchmark. His Manchester United side were the benchmark. And they were what every single team wanted to be. They're what I wanted to be as an Arsenal fan. They're what Liverpool fans wanted to be. When I was growing up, I used to watch Arsenal go to Old Trafford. It was on a Sunday afternoon at times, and I'd get out of bed and I'd think, it's at Old Trafford. I've got to go to Old Trafford. I'll just take a 1-0 defeat and move on. Let's move on to Brentford. Not Brentford, but they were in the division back then. We'll move on to, Newcastle next week, we'll move on to Portsmouth the week after. Just get this game over and done with. I don't want to play Man United at Old Trafford. I hate this fixture. So whenever Arsenal went to Old Trafford under Alex Ferguson, I'd be happy with just losing 1-0. I was just relieved to have not lost 3 or 4-0, because Manchester United were that kind of team under Alex Ferguson. They had the fear factor at Old Trafford. Alex Ferguson literally built something very, very unique. Manchester United were a very unique football club, and they are a unique football club, but they were something very, very different and very special, very powerful under Alex Ferguson. Every single team that went to Old Trafford knew that they were 99% of the time, you go to Old Trafford and you wouldn't get anything from the game. A draw would be something that you'd be absolutely thrilled to get. I was thrilled over the years getting draws at Old Trafford. But now, you look at Manchester United now, and that fear factor, first and foremost, has gone. No team, not Arsenal, not Liverpool, not Man City, not Chelsea, not even teams at the lower spectrum of the Premier League have any fear going to Old Trafford. And that's the biggest thing. Manchester United now are losing games left, right and centre because nobody fears them anymore, and the quality on the pitch is just not what it once was. Now, Manchester United have lost 10 games this season, which is actually 2 less than Tottenham Hotspur. Now, that just tells you where Tottenham Hotspur are at right now. I actually should have made a little segment about Spurs, but I probably will do that at some point. I'll enjoy that because I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll enjoy ripping them. But I really feel sorry for Ruben Amorim because, he's inherited, in truth, a pile of dog manure. I was going to say dog S-H-I-T, but I just didn't want to swear on this video. I can imagine as well when he first joined, he thought it was going to be a lot different. He thought he'd have time with the players, and when he's had time with the players, he could get them to gel to his methods, and it would kind of look quite different. But I can imagine even Ruben Amorim's been very surprised by just how deep in the mire this Manchester United side is. They threw Erik ten Hag under the bus, and it does appear that over the years Manchester United have thrown many a manager under the bus, and it does feel as though in time, Ruben Amorim will suffer that exact same fate. And looking at Manchester United's most recent defeat against Brighton, yes, Brighton are a good side, but that goalkeeper Onana, what is he doing for that third goal? Honestly, he literally dives on the ball and then spills it out, and then they score the third goal. It's almost like it's like he thought it was Christmas. Christmas was last month, Onana. You don't need to keep giving gifts. And Manchester United, it could get worse for Man United. They've got Fulham away this weekend on Sunday. You would expect Fulham. I am banking into. If I had money, I have got money, but if I had loads of money, I'd be betting it all on Fulham. I believe Fulham are going to turn up to that game, and I believe they are going to beat Manchester United. And if Man United don't turn up with the right attitude, Fulham will beat them well. But in talking about where the problem stems from Manchester United, you know, you hear so many videos, you see so many videos of people talking about Manchester United and where the problems lie at Manchester United. You know, I watch Mark Goldbridge quite a lot, and he has some, obviously, he's a passionate Manchester United fan. For me, I don't know where the actual problem lies, because people can look to the owners. The owners are getting a lot of the brunt of the blame. You know, Gary Neville is one of those pioneers who's kind of got a vendetta against the owners. Yes, there's a lot going on at the top of the football club, and there has been a lot going on at the top of the football club for a long time. But they're not responsible for what happens on the pitch during those 90 minutes. Now, you look at certain players on the pitch, and you look at Bruno Fernandes, you look at, obviously, Rasmus Højlund, who's recently been brought into Manchester United, who they actually expected to do big things. You look at Joshua Zirkzee up front, who's nowhere near good enough to play for Manchester United. You look at Casemiro, still wearing the red of Manchester United. Why is he still wearing the red of Man United? He's shit. He is literally way past it. He's too old. He should literally be in the stands holding his walking stick or the Zimmer frame, just kind of clapping every single time Man United have a chance. That's where he should be. He should be watching the games from his TV at home. Christian Eriksen's nowhere near good enough. He's too old. Harry Maguire, for me, came in with all this promise, but he's not good enough. When I look at that Manchester United team, and all I hear online, all I see online in terms of conversations is, Man United surely couldn't be this bad. They can't be this bad. It's Man United. They can't be this bad. You know, they're the biggest football club in England. They surely can't be like this. This is Man United. Anyone can be like this. The fact of the matter is that no matter who you are, whether you're Man United or the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid, you can be like this. This can happen to any football club in the world. If the structure of a football club isn't right, if the recruitment isn't good enough, and if you're bringing in the wrong players, you know, in general, and if the players on the pitch are not good enough, you've got all this kind of, all these murmurings, all these problems going on. This is going to happen, and it can happen to anyone. Ruben Amorim is climbing up a shit hill with a fork. He has no chance. He's literally been given no chance at being a successful Manchester United manager in the current period Manchester United are in. He hasn't. And what's going to happen is it's going to be almost like a never-ending cycle until something drastic changes at Manchester United. A new manager will come in, the fans will get, you know, slightly optimistic, but then it will just get to the point where fans won't become optimistic. They'll just kind of know what to expect. It'll be season upon season upon season upon season upon season upon season upon season of failure. And this is what's been going on for the past 10-15 years. People will still want to know where the problem lies, but they won't have any answers. If you had to ask me where the problem lies at Manchester United, I think recruitment's been probably the biggest issue. If you don't get recruitment right, everything else kind of just falls apart. Man United over the years have brought certain players in. I look at the likes of Di Maria, they brought in for huge money. And, you know, he was a player who was kind of brought to Man United on his reputation, not because he fit the mould or fit the style of Manchester United or fit the identity of Manchester United. He was a big name, so let's bring him in. And that's been part of Manchester United's problem. When Ronaldo came in, everybody thought he was going to be the saviour of Manchester United. You know, like Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator, the saviour of Rome. But when he came in, you know, he obviously came in with the superstar status. He's got a tremendous legacy at Manchester United. He's arguably the greatest footballer who's ever lived, along with Lionel Messi. And people just expected all the other problems to go away. But Ronaldo isn't. For one, Ronaldo wasn't the player he was. And two, one player doesn't make a team. So that issue was always going to remain at Manchester United. But it's saddening to me to watch Manchester United become this shell of a football club over the past 10-15 years. People might say, I'll probably find it brilliant, I love it. I suppose I'll do a little bit. But look, in general, from what Manchester United have been to what Manchester United are now, it's a massive, massive transformation, and it's been a negative one. It's been a rapid decline, and it's absolutely remarkable for me. Now, let's just say when Alex Ferguson left, I think it was 2012, 2013, and David Moyes, you know, wandered into Manchester United, the kind of lonely traveller. Hello, I hear you want me to take over Manchester United. Yes, come on in. You've got a promising future. You're just taking over from the great Alex Ferguson. What can go wrong? I bet David Moyes thought, this is easy. We've just won the league. You know, we've still got all these players. We've still got the same squad that Alex Ferguson had when he won the league the season before. What can go wrong? And all of a sudden you see how good of a manager Alex Ferguson was. And all of a sudden, since then, it's just been shit after shit. Now, if I'd have passed out in a coma in 2012-13 when Ferguson left and woke up yesterday, and I would have said, oh, go on then. A nurse came over to me, and I'll just randomly ask her the question, go on then. What else have Man United won? How good have Man United been during the last 10 years? Go on, rub it in. Well, they've actually had their worst season ever. Wow. They've had about 7 managers. Wow. Ha. What else? They're currently 12th in the Premier League and closer to the relegation zone in the top. Are you joking? No, that's actually really sad. I would not have believed anyone who had told me that this would be Man United in 2025 when Alex Ferguson left. What has happened between then and now? It's incredible to think how Manchester United have become. But like I said, this weekend's a big game for Man United. It's against Fulham. This Premier League season is a bit of a washout for Man United anyway. All the Man United fans, I can imagine, even probably the staff and the players, just probably want this season to end. If I was a Man United fan, I would want this season to end. I've had seasons like this as an Arsenal fan, and I just want them to end. I remember once, I think Arsenal lost their first 3 games. I think it was Arteta's 3rd season, Arsenal lost their first 3 games of the campaign. They lost against Brentford, they lost 2-0 against Chelsea, and then they lost 5-0 against Man City, and I just wanted the season to end. But at this point, as a Man United fan, I would just want the season to end. But, you know, Fulham it's going to be a difficult game, and I think Man United are going to lose this game as well. But this, you know, it's remarkable to me that we're even saying that Manchester United are now basically favourites to lose 70% of the games that they play in, particularly away from home. I never fancied Man United away from home, no matter who they're against. Who would have thought I'd be saying that about Man United? But like I said, guys and girls, have your say. The problems at Man United, obviously, we've talked about them so often. So many people have talked about them. I'm not going to say put in the comments below to talk about Man United's problems and where they stem from, because I think for the last so many years people have been talking about that. But what's your prediction for Fulham v Man United this weekend is what I want to know. Put it in the comments below, and obviously have a fantastic day. Be unique, be you. See you soon.